Riverbend Talent on the Big Z, brought to you by Mr. Matt Van Boers of Macias Insurance. As Lydia mentioned, Halpin Music Company, or maybe we're taping, so I don't know. I don't know what's been mentioned.
It was mentioned there at some point.
At some point. We just mentioned it.
Yeah,
that
we just
those are,
mentioned it, so
we get to do this every week thanks to them, and man, how big is that? That is huge.
That is huge. And big thanks to Halpin for being here for so long. Big thanks to Macias Insurance for being there for almost just as long. And big thanks to our guest tonight, Lanny and Julie. We've got them coming up here in about 15, 20 minutes. We're going to meet them and talk to them about all the musical things they've got going on. But right now, there's musical things going on around town, so let's get into that.
All right, Sea Shanty Sing-Along underway, and at the night market tonight, Crocodile Kings.
Yeah.
From 7 to 10 on Broadway. By the way, the Sea Shanty's at Morrison's Irish Pub. Borderline at Fast Eddie's. And they always have the night market after party at the Conservatory.
Yep.
And Alton later. Also later, 9 o'clock, Ragin Cajun with the open mic. Open mic out at Baker's and Hale every Thursday night. Not sure who the host is. Different host last week. We'll have to check into that one. Music in the Park with a New Horizon Band, 7 to 8 at Central Park in Bethalto. Roaming Home, 7 to 9 at Grafton's Music in the Park tonight in Grove Memorial Park up in Grafton. DJ Tony always at it on Thursday nights at Martin's Tunes and Eats in Wood River. And then Mo Pleasure doing it at 6 o'clock at Patrick's in Granite City with Piano Joe at the Prairie Inn tonight. That's in Door C.
And also this evening, Experience Live Music Row. That's going on in Belleville. There's always a lot of bands playing, a lot of venues. You want to see it, go to cottonmouth.org for more information on that one.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
Lanny and Julie coming up.
Yeah. Tomorrow is Friday, and we get into the 1st of July, and there is going to be quite a bit happening on the 1st of July, like once again, pianos at the Ragin Cajun. From 2 to 6 p.m., we've got somebody at Fast Eddie's, and then up all night, I'll be doing it at the second shift, 7:30 to 11:30 at Fast Eddie's Bon Air Saturday.
Sam Foor and Jacob Pullen at Chez Marilyn's at 8 o'clock, and Dueling pianos out at Baker's and Hale at 7 o'clock on Friday with Jeremy Drake out at the Brickhouse in Bethalto at 8 o'clock. Lanny and Julie, our guests tonight, they'll be at Holiday Shores Marina Bar on Friday night from 6 to 10. And how about a comedy show on Friday night? Against the Grain, a comedy show with Tim McLaughlin from New York, hosted by Doug Morris and Steve Stryker.
Nice.
Isn't he an airplane?
Yeah, Stryker here.
9 o'clock, that's a $15 show at Reese's Brewery in Edwardsville. They've done that before, so that's cool. Seeing some stand-up comedy around.
Yeah, always good to see them mixing it up there. Also, we've got on Friday night, Butch Moore, 5:30 to 8 p.m. at the American Legion Fish Fry in Collinsville. And then someone's going to be on the rooftop at George's local brew. I don't know who.
Yep, back to the rooftop. Wade Trent at the Bloody Bucket on Friday night with Claudia at Grafton Pub, weather permitting. Dave Capoto at the Loading Dock in Grafton, and Denver Wade Trent at Aries from 3 to 7 on Friday with the Graham Band in Hillsboro at the Canton Inn. How about Saturday night? The Hurricanes, 7 to 10 at the Lodge at Lovejoy in Alton. Let's see, what else? Up all night back at Fast Eddie's on Saturday, and City Heat out at Baker's and Hale and Godfrey. Blake Foltz and Westwind, 8 o'clock at Martin's Tunes and Eats in Wood River. Darien Row, 2 o'clock at Sparky's in South Roxana. They're starting
Darien,
to do
so Sparky's is firing up there in South Roxana. They're right across from the refinery there, right near the 255 exit. But got another shout out to Darien Rowe. She was down in Memphis a couple of weeks ago playing. So
we talked about that.
Yeah, I was just kind of giving her another pat on the back there because that's a
I never know if you just forgot.
I do. I forget everything. No, I would just want to give her another pat on the back because to get a couple of gigs on.
Get your hands on Darien. Calm down. She's got a new house.
All right, fine.
Jeremiah Johnson, you can touch him. 7 o'clock at the Hog Pit in Grafton. Just head up there and touch him.
What about Ivis John? Can I touch him?
Yeah. And the band.
And the band.
3 to 7 at Grafton Winery on Saturday, and Worth the Fight at the Oyster Bar on Saturday.
Yeah.
Up in Grafton.
Dave Caputa, 3 p.m., and then Bob Gleason, 8 p.m. That's at the Bloody Bucket Saloon in Grafton. Also in Grafton on Saturday night, we've got the Soulard Blues Band at the Loading Dock. Backwoods Burden at the Grafton Pub from 2 to 6 p.m. and Roaming Home at the Grafton Pub 7 to 11 p.m. It says weather permitting, but this weekend's looking pretty good there. Jim on keys, and then Jonathan Baker.
It's like you're taping a week in advance, and you're predicting the weather. That's amazing.
That's true. I'm that
just
good.
Want to point that out in case it's raining right now.
I'm that good. Yes, we did tape this a week in advance. I'm currently in Scranton, Pennsylvania, so I don't know what's going on.
At the office, right?
Maybe.
That's what she said. But anyways, TBD at the Goshen Market. How about the Plastic Kings, 5:30 to 9:30, followed by fireworks at the Long Shot Tiki Bar in Portage Desu.
A little 4th of July action.
I think you were going to mention Jim on keys from noon to 3 and Jonathan Baker 3 to 7 at Aries Winery in Grafton. And let's see, the Alfresco Production Melting Pot Market will have Dave Catini at 10 a.m. on Saturday at the Civic Park in Granite. After midnight.
10 a.m. That's an early.
Yeah, that's a market. That's like what they do in the morning.
I know. Yeah. It's just every time I see
we have one here too.
Every time I see the musicians having the early gigs, I always think, I wonder how late they played the night before. You
know, some guys don't have nights before like you. After midnight, 9:30 at Patrick's in Granite City, and Wine and Art by J.J. Re-Loved Treasures from 1 to 3. That's a $35 event, but they're going to be followed by Red Wine and Blue with Hooky, 6 o'clock, till dark, before the fireworks at Wild Pickens in Chesterfield on Saturday. So that sounds like good. Red Wine and Blue.
And so I just want to get this straight. It's Wine and Art by J.J. Re-Loved Treasure.
Yeah, that's
1 to 3 p.m. and that's $35. And then after that, Red Wine and Blue. Now I'm assuming that's a band.
Just the name of the event.
Okay,
because it's Independence Day.
That is what I wanted to get straight. I'm like, if that's the name of a band, that's kind of cool for this day, but I don't know how good it is any other day.
That's a winery that's, being patriotic.
That's what I wasn't sure of, if they were a band or not. That's the event. Also, so after that, it's Red Wine and Blue with Hooky, 6 p.m. till dark before fireworks.
Right.
There you go. Okay.
There's fireworks on Sunday here in Alton with the party on the patio. And check this out. Flip the Frog at 3 and Lady Luck at 7. That's at Bluff City Grill with the fireworks scheduled for about 9. How about Pro Wrestling Epic presents Blood, Sweat, and Beers, 7 o'clock at Sports Tap in Alton on Sunday, July 3rd. So
nice.
And then the open mic always going on down at Chez, Maryland's now on Sunday with Dan Floyd. And, of course, the Cottage Hills Wrestling Alliance doing their thing. So, I think we're about out of time. I know the Intrusion's up at the Hog Pit, right? We got more time?
We got time. We can talk about how there's an open mic night with the Shell Shack. 3 to 7 p.m. at Martin's Tunes and Eats in Wood River on Sunday. And then it's the weekly Cottage Hills Wrestling Association show. Every week these guys put one of these out, and it's happening right there at 127 West MacArthur in Cottage Hills. They've got their own venue.
I've seen a very nice post, and I've seen it a couple of times now from the Butcher, talking about how cool it is what Cottage Hills Wrestling Alliance is doing. And he's been in the business a long time, so when you get props from him, that's pretty cool.
That is nice. And it's cool to see so many of those, like with that Cottage Hills guys. Like, I like all the wrestling guys we've had on. Some of them are more fun than the other. Me and the Judge were real good friends till we weren't.
Right.
No, I do. Seriously, I like all those guys, but the Cottage Hills guys just seem like the grassroots thing.
Right.
Like they are the garage band version.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because Damien had mentioned a couple of times that he had heard in public, that these guys started and, they're not real and they're not pro. And he's like, let me tell you, they are pro, 100%. These are guys who got rejected by the other organizations because of their size and different things and said, you know what, we're going to do it ourselves.
And that's why I like
DIY.
Them right there. That's what I like about them. Yeah. They didn't take no for an answer. They're like, whatever, I just do it. I don't need you. So there
nice
you go.
Job,
anyway,
Christian Stoddard.
There you go. So back to the list here. We got the Overhead Dog on Sunday, 2 to 6 p.m. at the Grafton Winery. Also in Grafton, Catfish Willie's going at the Bloody Bucket Saloon starting at 2 p.m. PB&J, 2 to 6 p.m. And then Gatorhead, 7 to 11 p.m. at the Grafton Pub, weather permitting. And I hear that it's going to be beautiful, even though we've taped this a week in advance. Somebody told me that it's just no worries.
You'll also be hearing the guitar player from Lead Sled because he's in PB&J.
There you go.
Our old buddy. Roman home 1 to 5 at Aries Winery, and the Intrusion at the Hog Pit at 5 o'clock. Down and Dirty at 3rd Shoot West on Sunday with the Plastic Kings back at Long Shot Tiki Bar and Portage Tetsu.
And that is leading us right in to July 4th, and you know there's going to just be barbecues galore, fireworks galore.
I think everyone's going to sleep because they have to work the next day. I know. But you need a recovery day.
You're probably right
why not
about
chill?
that. But in my mind, the party's going to go on right through the 4th. We're going to start.
Well, it's good that most people aren't in your mind.
We're going to start Thursday night, and it is just going to go.
They would never make it to work. Only strong heads like you can make it to work.
I don't know about that. All I know is I think the party should start Thursday night and go all the way till Monday evening sometime.
Head cheese. There you go. Some foods I don't eat just because of how they sound. Head cheese. Well, George Carlin there. Wrap up your Independence
See, it's
Day.
funny because George. Now, see, now I'm doing Bob Zaney. See, I took your George Carlin and saw you a Bob Zaney.
Yeah, well, I don't mind.
I don't know. All right. Well, hey, our guests tonight, Lanny and Julie.
Lanny and Julie.
We have been saying their name for 7 freaking years.
We tried to just get Julie, but Lanny had to come along.
I don't know why. I specifically requested Julie be the only one, and Lanny's like, I can't let her out alone.
Well, you know, and I'm glad because I like Lanny better because he said he listens. He was like, no, I listen. I was like, oh, wow, he does listen, remember? Because I'm like, if these people listen to this show before they come in because...
Yeah,
you wonder sometimes.
There you go. And in addition to what you'll get into it, they're in Meatwood Flack. They were part of the Hale and Thurston Hale. A lot of stuff going on. So let's just let them talk about it.
That's a good idea.
Let's not relive it all before we live it. So there you go. Let's get into it. Lanny and Julie on.
Be safe out there, folks.
It's Lanny and Julie on Riverbend Talent.
Brought to you by the Halpin Music Company and by Mr. Matt Van Bors of Macias Insurance.
That was perfect.
Riverbend Talent on the Big Z. Dennis with you, Pigpen as well. And I'm excited tonight, Pigpen, because we've been saying the name Lanny and Julie forever.
And now that I've met him, don't tell Lanny, but I'm going to be saying the name Julie even more.
Oh.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
I don't know.
You have a friend named Julie, so you already say that.
I call Julie every time I got to dig in my backyard. So we are talking to Lanny and Julie, and if you've heard this show before, you've heard us say their name because they are some working folk. They are out there hitting it every weekend, if not 3 nights. You know, I mean, we say your name a lot. So let's get down to it. Mr. Lanny, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here. Nice to meet you guys.
It's nice to meet you. And now, Julie, hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
How are you?
It's total change completely.
So, welcome to the show, Julie. It's so great to have you here. I'm also going to say this. We'll talk about it later, but they're also in Meatwood Flack, which I have been giggling at that name since the first time I got to say it on the air. I think it's just a genius name.
Yeah, there's proof on the internet. Almost every time we say that name, he'll lose it.
There are a few names there. What's the Pussycat and the Swallowtails?
Yeah.
It's hard to say the name of that band without just chuckling.
Just rolls
a little
off
bit,
the tongue.
It's just a good name. So there you go.
Poor Dirty Astronaut.
That's a good one. I like the name. It's just good, man.
Matt Meyer and the boys, right?
What was the one that was out there for a minute? Thurston Hale.
Right.
Oh, we were in that
band.
Were you in that band?
We were in that band.
I didn't know who was in it, but
that was Joe Vora and Brian
Gilligan's
Keck
Island fan. So.
and Randy
Banks.
Yes, yeah. Randy was right up the street.
I didn't even know they were in that one. See,
we were.
We talked about that one a lot too. So, so there you go, Lanny and Julie. How long officially have you been playing music together? Do you remember the year?
It's probably been about 8 years. I'm thinking.
About 8 years.
Yeah, our first gig was at Stagger Inn with Butch Moore.
So before we even work up to that, let's just go ahead and start with Butch getting you into music. Let's go all the way back to that. When did Butch, after your father was unable to get you to pick up the guitar for year after year. How did Butch get you to do it?
And my father's a musical genius. He was in the symphony, St. Louis Symphony until 10 years ago, as like second violin chair. So he's been in music his whole life. My brother is the talent of the family. He's just crazy good at everything. He just picks it up naturally.
And who's your brother? What's his name?
It's Kirk Langston. He lives in Texas now, so he's not out playing anywhere. He does weddings and stuff. My sister is a graduate from Webster with a music degree.
Wow.
She's a few years older than me. But, yeah, we met Butch when our boys were playing soccer together. And I said, Butch plays music. I'd like to see my son Kyle, his son Austin, play the guitar. So he started giving them lessons. I'm like, well, I'm sitting here doing nothing. I might as well pick up a guitar and do something, So that's probably 25 years ago when he first started doing that. Probably 25. But I didn't really get serious until I met her, and that was about 10, 11 years ago.
And her,
Julie.
Pointed to Julie.
Julie, yes. This radio, I forgot. It's like a court. It's like in a court,
Yeah.
and you met now Butch Moore that we're talking about that kind of got you into the guitar. A lot of, if any of you out there in Radio Land don't know who Butch is, that's sort of your loss.
Sunday night, you should know.
Yeah, he's been doing the open mic night on Sunday nights at Stagger Inn again since 1804. When Lewis and Clark first made their home here.
I think there's a statue outside of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, and I'm telling you what, if you haven't seen Butch, go up and watch him, because before the open mic night, he'll come up and warm up with a couple, 2 or 3 songs, and he does the harmonies with his little harmony machine. It's like one guy up there sounds like 4 or 5 going. It's crazy. So, good player. Now, he got you into playing at the Stagger Inn again. You see him up there at the Stagger Inn again. Now, you also met Julie at the Stagger Inn.
We met Julie.
Again?
We were watching the Mondin Band one night, one of your local famous
local
bands here.
heroes.
Yes. He is John, and
He's a legend.
the whole band was amazing. But we met one night while we were watching the Mondin Band, and then about 6 months later, we were starting to date, and we're sitting at this restaurant bar, and I said, Julie says, I can sing. I'm like, okay, sure you can,
Right.
And so she breaks out in "If I Fell" by the Beatles, a cappella, which has that's a really intricate, like a little tricky melody going on in it, like chord changes and key changes, and nailed it. I'm like, you can sing. So I said, my buddy Butch runs open mic. Maybe we can throw an open mic night together, So we thought about it for about 6 months and
Took us 6 months to do
postponed
it.
Chickened
6
out a
months
couple times.
It's like, no, not tonight.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
Right.
Good night. I still need to work
Next
on that
Sunday.
one chord.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Every open mic night I didn't chicken out of, I should have. So,
See the reverse effect, right?
sign of lack of intelligence on my side.
Yeah.
So you guys finally got the gumption, though, and got up at the Stagger Inn again and did your first
Yes.
show together.
It was a disaster.
Yes.
And there's a recording of it.
Yes.
Exactly.
Thanks to Butch, but once again,
Yes, Butch records everything, so be careful. If you go open mic, you're going to get recorded.
just like Chuck Berry, he's up there recording everything. Now, wait a minute. Maybe not everything.
Everything.
Maybe not everything.
Not everything.
The good,
Not all.
The good thing about that is, though, now you can go back and say, hey, we got better.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yes.
It couldn't get much worse. I'm serious.
Oh,
I don't
we
think
have
it
had
could get
people
worse.
who
I mean,
knew
it
us
was
back then.
impossible to get worse than it
Yeah.
was.
Right.
We cannot sink
There was
any
only
lower
one
than
way
we
to go,
are.
and that was either stay the same or go up.
Now, Butch didn't play the tape for you of the recording of the first performance right afterwards.
He sent
thank
it to
goodness,
you,
other
didn't
we never would have played again. It was that bad.
So, but you did play again, and you got better. And when he did finally lay the tape on you, were you?
It somehow ended up on our iTunes, like I said, and we were driving down the road, and it just popped up, and we just couldn't stop laughing. It was ridiculously bad. I mean,
That's great.
it was almost like a comedy show, to be quite
Yeah.
honest with you. People were laughing. We're all among friends, so they weren't laughing at us; they were laughing with us. But
Right.
it was all for a good cause too. But yeah, it was a very interesting experience.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
So, first lesson, kids never give up.
Yeah.
Never give up.
Right.
Well,
Never
you know Tim from Stagger, right? The redhead.
Yeah.
So he heard her voice singing that night, and he came up to us immediately afterwards, and he said, he always liked Julie anyway. Who doesn't, right? So,
I haven't met anyone yet who doesn't.
and he said, if you guys can put 3 hours together, I'll give you a happy hour. And so,
Took us about
it took us
9 months.
It took us about 9 months,
to get
but 3 hours
to get
of
enough
music
songs
together.
for 3
and
hours.
that was our first official gig. Was at Stagger Inn, thanks to Tim and Butch.
Nice.
So at the end of that first set, did someone go, one more?
No,
And you're like,
nobody. No, they said one less. No.
One more song. We can repeat
you take that
one.
last
We're
one
pretty
back?
much
Yeah,
out.
no, that's all we have
Yeah,
is
we
just
just-
those two, and they took us a long time to learn.
Yeah.
And we had to make sure we had 30 seconds between each song to time it out right.
Yeah. It was.
And a couple of shots, of course,
right, yeah.
to make sure it all worked out well.
So yeah, but when you heard it, you felt like it was a bit of a train wreck on the first one. But
yeah.
it was too late to deter you by that point.
Well, we had already put a lot of work into it at that point.
Yeah.
Right. We
Yeah.
already learned 3 hours worth of material. We're not
Exactly.
turning back now.
Yeah, and we done. Actually, I think we did some open mics in between there at Laurie's
Sure.
places and those kinds of places that built a little confidence. But yeah, it just most of singing and playing really comes down to self-confidence. It really
Yeah.
does. Most people can carry a tune, but you got to be able to believe in it. To sell it.
I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, you're so much better than you used to be."
yeah.
What does that mean exactly?
Thank you, I think.
Yeah.
It's better
Good.
than when they look at you and say, "Boy, you haven't gotten any better, have
Nah.
you?"
Yeah, I know. They just say,
That's what I hear a
"Hey."
lot. So yeah, they just say, "Hey, you were on stage again. Good for you.
Yeah.
You got courage." No. I hear that
admire
one a
your
lot. So, all right, so we talked a little bit. In addition to Butch, your father also, you said influenced you, but Julie. Your brother and sister sort of pushed you musically.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that anybody who has older brothers and sisters
yes,
always gets exposed to really good music early on. And Lanny was the same way, too. And so we got exposed to, Elton John, my brother listened to him, Beatles, all the usuals. But
Right.
it's great to have older siblings to turn you on to that at a younger age because it's ruminating around in your head longer.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and my
You know?
parents too. They were into Chicago at the time, which is I love their
Yeah,
band.
they're great.
Chicago.
Oh, they're all great
Yeah,
bands.
Chicago, what a great horn line there, man.
So
Telling
good.
you.
But you were also in choir.
Yes,
you
I
had
always
mentioned
think-
that you thought choir was the best, cheapest singing voice lessons ever.
Exactly. Everybody said, "Oh, how can my daughter sing? How can my daughter learn to sing?" I said, "Put them in choir. Choir is the best, free voice and singing lessons there are. You learn everything in any school choir or church choir.
Yeah.
You're going to learn a lot."
And if you're a little
You know?
shy, you can kind of just blend in for a
Exactly.
while until you get the courage to, do
And
a
learn
solo.
how to blend,
Right.
and
Yeah.
do harmonies and different parts and, alto, soprano, and everything. It's great.
Yeah, I
Learned
used
a
to
lot
just
from that.
stand up there and move my mouth like I was doing. You ever do that?
Hell yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, but I had some guys that some young men in choirs are very serious sometimes about it. They really are.
I was terrified. So
I think the only reason they let me in was they said I brought the whole group down an octave.
yeah.
You were in choir too, Big Ben?
I
And-
sang in choir in junior high. Yeah,
And what did you think of it?
it was fun. It was actually a lot of fun, and there was a lot of girls in
Yeah.
choir.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
there was one reason I was there. It was the music. It was the music.
Yeah.
Did you think you learned a lot from it?
I honestly I didn't. I am. If you get to know me, you'll find out that I've squandered all my time. I've always been around music. I hang out with some of the greatest musicians, and instead of watching them and learning, I'm always like, hey,
Partying.
who's the party?
Yeah.
Of course. No, that's the perk.
Yeah.
And
He's more
I
into the perks.
and so I do. I own a lot of instruments, and I've always been in bands, but I've just never been good because I'm always like, I want to party.
As long as you
that.
enjoyed it, that's the main
I
thing.
I tell everybody that if you're doing it right, if you're having a good time, it doesn't matter if you've ran everybody out of the room. Are you enjoying
Yeah.
And
yourself?
you make friends right away.
But that's contagious. When you're having fun on stage, we get this a lot. The people tell us it looks like you're having fun.
Yeah.
And that just kind of bleeds out in the
course,
crowd.
it's
And if
energy.
you're not having
Yes.
fun, it also bleeds out.
Right.
Because I've been in a situation where it wasn't any fun. And you're just trying to get through
Yeah.
one.
Right. If I make it through this set, I am not playing with these people anymore. Just please let me make it through the set.
Yeah, but you're right about choir. I learned a ton in college choir. Once I got some confidence, And yeah, man, I mean, you can learn chords, you can learn how to sight read, you can, learn everything just by singing with the choir. And like I said, if you get nervous or you're not feeling well, you just back up a little bit and let someone else take over.
Well, you were in a college choir. That's some serious stuff there.
Yeah, once
really.
I got to college, I decided to learn voice. I was singing in bands by that point, but not very well. And so, yeah, I decided to give it a try.
Yeah.
Miss Jill Vandergrift taking me out there.
There you go.
Yeah.
And they teach you breathing, too. That's
Yeah.
very, very super important.
She taught me, the first thing I learned was you're not supposed to take a breath in the middle of a syllable. I'd never
No.
thought about that before, though.
See,
If
now-
you're in a choir, though, they break them up.
Yeah.
It sounds like a one long
Now, I didn't take choir, but I was taught circular breathing, but it had nothing to do with music. It was totally different occupation. I was working my way through college. Don't judge me.
Right.
So
Just putting
you
it
know
out
what?
there.
I want to hit you guys with a question that we ask almost every band that comes through here, and this is one I've been wanting to know. We always ask bands how they come up with their name. How did you come up with the name Lanny and Julie?
Well, this was really funny because I really couldn't think of anything else, and I just thought we were going to do a few open mics.
Yeah.
I really did not know that we were going to be playing as much as we are now. If I would have thought that through, I probably would have thought of a more witty name.
Or at least put your name first, like we talked about.
Well, yeah, but just Lanny and Julie sounds better than Julie and Lanny. But I always thought that I would have thought of something
Yeah.
more catchy.
No, I think it's great. I'm just pulling your cheek a bit there.
Well, believe me,
We just followed Scott and Michelle. That's what we did.
Michelle, there you go.
So they had Scott first, so she's like, well, let's just put Lanny right there.
now we got all kinds of
By the
dudes
way,
using their names.
Yeah, you can't beat Scott and Michelle, too, by the way.
And if you put it all together, you got Scott and Michelle and Lanny and Julie. Now it sounds like a law firm.
Exactly.
It's just getting enough names in
No,
there.
please
But
don't.
we all go by our first names to be more user friendly.
Yeah, it's so but going by the first names gives it that comfortable feeling,
It does.
Yeah. So, Lanny, you said you started way back with Butch. Did you get in any bands before you
No,
met?
I'd never played out in my life.
Okay.
I mean, I was in choir, too, in high school and junior high, but never played. 10 years ago, if anybody told me they were going to pay me a red cent to play anything in front of anybody, I would have said, you are completely insane. And I mean, honestly. And it turned out that I hooked up with one of the best singers around, and that really helped. She's carried me along, So,
Yeah.
but yeah, she hadn't played out since high school, and I had never played out, so it just kind of happened.
So,
And I'll say this much: everybody that we've come in contact with, Butch, everybody at Laurie's, Scott, Mechelle, everybody, all the musicians in this whole area has helped us in some way, some in big ways. Marty and Eric from Strangers, all these people have given us a leg up and helped us, give us pointers, help us with sound. There's always some kind of and it's a learning process. We're about 10% into where we need to be, but we were 2% in, so we're getting there. But it's been a lot of help from everybody that's been
nice
doing this.
community.
Granite City's got this huge talent pool there for some
Right.
reason, and it seems like everybody that we meet is from Granite, but there's still a lot of talent everywhere else. Don't get me wrong, but everybody's just been really helpful. So if without that help, we would still be at, maybe 3 songs or something.
There you
playing.
go. So your new name when you change it from Lanny and Julie will be a leg up.
A leg up.
So
Lady.
everyone's giving us a leg up. I thought of an old dog I used to have. No, anyway.
No.
So Lanny mentioned that you hadn't played out since high school. So you were in
I was
bands
in a
high
band,
school.
the Clue Band from Kansas City. So we were, and then we used to Ted Nugent, Sticks,
nice.
Kansas City.
in people's garages. It was a classic garage band. It was
Yeah.
really
There you
great,
go.
though. It was really a lot of fun.
And is that where you grew up, Kansas City?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Now, you guys were also in Thurston Howell at some point. Where's that fit in this?
There was a opening, and we knew Brian and Brian Keck and Joe Lavora, and they reached out to us. I think we just played the market, actually, that day before, and they contacted us and said, we have this, one of their members had left, and there are 2 people. It took 2 of us to fill one person's spot. Because they have the lead singer and lead guitar. So we filled in for that for a while and played a lot of classic rock and went to a lot of cool bars and stayed out till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning like the old rock and rollers did for a while. And Then the day job got in the
Short-lived.
way of that.
It's like, no, I don't know if this is such a good idea.
But it was a blast. It was great guys too. They helped us quite a bit as well, and it was a lot of fun.
They gave you a leg up.
They gave
I'll
us
give me a leg up. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm thinking Big Bam. That is the new name. We're going to revamp our style there.
Renamed many bands.
Yes, that's not the leg up. I like it.
He should copyright these things.
Telling you.
Write them down.
He probably did.
Yeah. Pat and Penny.
There you go, Pat and Penny.
Oh, they got pen.
Oh, man. I think you guys do good with your names. The Thurston Hale was great, and the Meatwood Flack, one of my favorites.
Yes.
I think you're doing great.
Brian kept up with Thurston Hale. He actually, I think that was we just joined that band. Meatwood Flack just kind of popped in my head one morning.
Yep.
But yeah,
You're good with the names.
I just actually was thinking about her voice being so much like Stevie's, you know, and just to play one.
Meatwood Flack's the name. I was just thinking about her, and he could have stopped right there.
Yeah, I should've
I thought about my Meatwood Flack is what I thought about.
Oh, we've tried to play with some other people, and it was always fun. And all the guys come up with some very funny names.
I bet.
They come up, go flying around in a group text, and they're just so funny.
Can't repeat them on the show here, but we'll talk about it after.
You can text them to me later.
There you go.
You can find me on Pornhub, Big Boy 69.
I forgot
Big
about
Boy
that.
69.
Put you in my favorites.
BOI? Is it?
So it's interesting you talk about, hitting the pavement, getting out there and finding venues, finding other acts to watch, to learn from, and that really helped develop the band along the way. You guys don't know it, but you helped develop our show, because when I first started looking for venues and who was playing where, I kept coming across Lanny and Julie.
Wow.
And I started following you guys around and see what venues you're playing, and now we mention those venues probably every week. And so, that's kind of how it works, though, in the music scene, right? We all kind of learn from each other.
It's all networking and helping each other out.
Yeah. So, as you mentioned, I mean, if bands are wondering, how do you get gigs? Well, you guys just told them, get out there, visit the venues. One tip you had was get there early in the day.
Yeah. Take an afternoon, and Julie is really good at this. She's really good at booking the gigs and getting the contacts. But we would take a day and just bar hop, do a little day drinking, eat a meal, and just go around and hit the places that we saw other people playing at, or some places that we thought may be a good venue for music, because there's a lot more places now having music on Sunday fun days than there used to be, 8-9 years ago. And even during the week, I mean, Big Daddy's, for example, we play there all the time, but they've got music Tuesday through Sunday, every night except for Monday.
Nice.
You've got Fast Ladies right down the street. Been
7
doing this
nights a
for
week.
decades, right?
Yeah.
There's other
Copper
places.
Fire and Belleville,
Foundry.
Scott,
There's 2 foundries now that have music, on opposite days. It's just a lot of these restaurant bars have really tapped into this, and there's a market for it. So,
So what I'm hearing is, every now and again, you just go day drinking and looking
much.
for gigs. So every now and again, you take a day and do what you should do every day.
pretty much.
That's what I'm hearing.
And it's
I
fun.
retire, we're gonna
it's
be
kind
booked.
of like
We're
a
gonna be
date.
really busy.
You never got, Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But
Because
no,
that's the funnest part of this, is getting to, we both love music, and we both love playing.
And we love people.
You
and
know,
it's
and
the
we love
people you
people.
meet too. Like there's a lot of really cool. I mean, almost all the venue owners and the people that are staffing these places are just really cool people to get to know. They're easy to work with. It's a win-win situation. You're going to help them. They're going to help you. It's just
Mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
As
what you're
opposed
looking
to
for.
sending an email to this person that you don't see,
Yeah.
by going there and interacting with them, you
Right.
probably raise your possibilities
It
of
does.
getting the gig.
Exactly.
It's nothing like FaceTime. There's
then-
nothing like face-to-face time.
But then there's the video
not like
situation, too.
FaceTime on your phone. But I mean, we have done that too. If you have a video and people just want to see a video or something to give you a sample of what you can do, then we've done that to save. If you're not available that week, or if they're 100 miles away or something. But yeah, I mean, the best thing for us to do is to get in front of them and put Julie in front of them. That's the key.
Now we're getting down to the brass tacks. He's like, well,
Everybody
I
loves
bring
Julie.
Julie in there. And suddenly interested. She could sell them things they don't need.
Well,
All right.
you make a good point, because Julie's great with social media. You guys got a lot of photos, a lot of things to look at. You guys post often, keep people up to date, mainly on Facebook, I guess, is your main
mainly Facebook and Instagram, some too. So.
Yeah. So, and we always feel like, one of the reasons we started this show was to promote other bands, because we always felt weird about saying, hey, check out my band. But it's good to have one person in the band that can kind of do that, and it doesn't bother them so much. So,
right, yeah.
Yeah, and that's helped you guys immensely, though, the social media, right?
Right, exactly. And, we have some friends, too, that we kind of like one of our friends started. We'll share their gigs. They'll share our gigs,
Yeah. And so our
that's
group
always
of
really
friends
good.
see them, it's like I said, everybody's helping each other get a leg up,
Yeah.
It's the theme.
Yep, Scott and Mechelle have helped us a lot. I mean, Mechelle made a lot of banners for me. She had this thing. I'm like, oh.
Randy Belling does this
I'll
quite a
be
bit.
very happy to make them for you. She's such a sweetheart.
Oh, yes, she is.
Randy and Mike Pagano, they're in a new gig called Rewind, and he's famous for sharing everybody else's gigs, and we should.
Randy is,
And being
yes.
a great man.
Yeah, he's a great. Yeah. Mike Mayer, right?
Yes.
I called him Mr. Mayer, and he told me that was his father. I was supposed to call him
Mr.
John
Mayer.
Mayer.
John Mayer was here? Oh, my
Spelled
gosh.
differently.
Where was I that day?
Pagano is a great dude and
Great musician, too.
musician, and so he's and got a good thing going down there
Got
with
the
his party.
picnic in the park. Oh my
Party at
gosh.
the beach.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Beach, yeah, you
August
got it,
6th
so.
and 6th and 7th this weekend.
It's
I think.
always,
Or this
it's
year.
always
This
amazing.
year.
It gets bigger every year, it seems
Yeah.
like,
There's always fun music stuff going on, always.
And that's you guys every weekend somewhere, right? Always playing. Do
Pretty
you guys
much.
ever take a break?
We do sometimes.
When we're on vacation.
Yeah. And then you find an open mic somewhere and
Right.
we have
And then we go
done
see
that.
a different band.
We went did it on Austin down on 6th Street one time, and it was nobody in the bar but us and the guy playing, but it was fun still just to say, we played on 6th Street. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We got up, did a couple songs. It was great. So much fun.
yeah. You take Butch Moore with you down to Nashville, record a song. Now you're a Nashville recording artist.
There you go.
Nashville, Illinois.
Oh, is there a studio there? Awesome.
And next time you're in Texas, you can record in Paris, Texas. Now
There we
you
go.
record in Paris. I mean,
Hey, Perry.
it's all about picking the right city.
Exactly. Did you say Paris?
Oui, oui. Parlez-vous français?
So we know Lanny and Julie as an acoustic duo probably is the best way to
Yeah.
describe you
I would say
guys.
so,
And
yeah.
what type of music would people normally hear when they
Classic rock. It's 60s, 70s. We do throw some 80s and 90s and even some newer stuff than that in there, and a few country songs too. We try to mix it up as much as we can.
come?
But
You guys ever write anything?
we have a couple that have put together with a buddy of our, Mel.
Yeah,
Mel.
Mel Sparrow.
He goes by Tom too. Tom Sparrow. He's an Alton guy. Used to be in bands here too. But he had a studio at his house, and we would record a couple of his songs that he wrote.
Right.
And we have a couple chord progressions that we're waiting for Julie to put some lyrics to, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, it's fun to do that too.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's something special about putting a song out there that you wrote that no one has ever heard before that they like, and I haven't
Exactly.
experienced that yet, but I've heard great things.
I think that was a dig at me. I do.
No, not at all. Not at all.
It's hard to come up with something that,
It is.
that isn't already been done a million times.
For sure.
And it's hard to come up with something that music is emotion. If you're not emotional about it, if you're not saying something you believe in, what are you even talking about? So
It's all
sometimes it's hard to, especially when you got two brain cells left like me and they're fighting each other. So I can usually just cuss.
It usually sells pretty well.
Right. But it is always fun to try and if you got something going on in your head, try and put it out there.
Well,
so.
a lot of it is lyrics, though. If you're right about that, because I think about it, like John Mayer's lyrics, James Taylor's lyrics. I mean, Elton John. I mean, it just goes on and on.
Great,
And-
great
and-
lyrics.
Elton John's lyrics were so bad he had to have Bernie come in.
Yeah.
Yes.
And give him something
It
to
worked,
sing
though.
about. He was like peanut butter and jelly, and I don't know.
I know.
Singing. I really don't know. But
Well, the Stagger Inn's got to be a great place. You go in there and at an open mic, you see somebody perform an original song. That's got to encourage you to go,
It does.
hey,
It
man,
does.
we should try something
Yeah.
original, because there's some great original
Oh, there's some
songwriters
amazing.
right there.
Yeah, there are. There really are.
Amazing.
And even Belleville now. Can't forget about that old Music Row down there.
That's
There's
amazing.
A lot of music writing going on down there.
You guys have played down there for that Experience Live Music Row. We've been talking about that over the last month or so. We noticed that they got a sponsor, and then they got all the bars kind of combined.
They're working together.
Advertised together. What's it like down there? I mean, can you walk from bar to bar?
We played on the one side of the circle. There's a circle, and we played at the venue on one side of the circle.
Okay,
and then there's and then we just played at Benny's Pizza.
Right.
And we played at Copper Fire.
Copper Fire.
So it's basically like a circle that you can kind of walk to.
Well, it's actually the circle where everybody. It's the circle where you spin off of.
Gotcha.
But Main Street goes on either side. We get 7. It's just a really cool place. And like I said, the bars are all working together and help promoting each other. And they're putting events together. Last week they had a bicycle poker run.
Right.
And they had music attached to that. I think Scott played one of those.
Do you know who put together the live music? Live Music City Experience, Music City Row Live, whatever it is. Too many words for me to combine.
I think they just came up together as a
group. I didn't know if there was someone someone got on Budweiser next or whatever as a sponsor.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not.
I was just curious. I wanted to give them props because I think they've done a good job.
I don't want to speak out of turn because we don't know exactly who it was.
No, it was your turn. I had spoken.
Well, speaking of Scott Marilyn, he's another guy. He would know the answer to that question first of all, but he also has helped us immensely. I mean, he's given us my other leg up. This leg was up. We'll talk about that another.
Let me tell you, when you get 2 legs up, we're really going
we're going up, climbing the ladder.
Pretty soon we'll be back to that circular breathing I was talking about.
No, but he's an amazing talent, and it's a privilege to play with him. In the Meatwood Flack thing, and he's helped us grow both our demographic and also our music library and all kinds of good stuff together. And it's just fun to play with. And he's got that energy too. He's got a really good energy. That really gets everybody interested in the gig.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do. Big Pet.
Yeah.
Good energy.
Do I? I've been told I should keep my energy to myself. Usually it's when I got a hand under the table.
Yeah.
Don't move farther away.
I don't know about that energy.
That's all right. Lanny's learning.
Yeah. My hands are up here.
Poor
that's all I'm
Lanny.
saying.
His hands are above the table.
I'm giving them a bad reputation. They're very nice people. I don't know how they got here talking to me.
Such a bad boy.
I'm so glad people don't listen to the show before they come in and be a guest.
God, they would never show up. They would be like, I'm not talking to that guy.
I listen to it. What do you think about? I listen.
So there you go. Lanny and Julie been playing music for 8 years and just getting stronger and stronger every year. More gigs, more bands, more FaceTime.
Seems that way.
Yes.
I don't know what we're doing, but it's just luck
working.
more than anything.
Yeah, just pretty much luck. That's
I
for
think
sure.
it really comes down to just being in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah.
Because we actually started this right when the acoustic thing started to really. I mean, like I said, Butch has been doing this for 55 years, but it wasn't really a Sunday fun day thing going on every patio, and we just happened to hit things at the right time. And then Facebook really helped. It kind of
everybody's got
everything
music
came
nowadays,
together at the
pretty
right
much.
time, and we just happened to be in the right spot.
I imagine a venue's like looking at the other venue, and that venue starts booking people. They say, you know what, maybe we should be booking some bands. So it becomes contagious that way as well.
Yeah.
And then other musicians are going, hey, people are making money out here playing duos.
And
Let's break down the band. Go play a duo.
Oh, I think that's happened quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
I was going to say, I think it's contagious on both sides with the venues and with the music.
Yeah.
Speaking of contagious, can you look at this?
Ooh, that's a bad rash.
I didn't know he was a doctor.
Yeah.
Really bad.
It's a bad rash.
I think Smash called me doctor or something like that, didn't he? Where do I get that? I'm
Dr.
Dr.
Dennis.
Dr. Bash.
I love that, Dr. Dennis.
No, I'm more of a dentist.
Dr. Dennis.
Dr. Dennis, the dentist.
If you're more of a dentist, I'm going to need some of that nitrous oxide for sure.
Dentist, Dr. Dentist. That's hard to say.
Now you're talking.
They've been like that fun. I'm getting this feel like he's a fun-loving guy.
I
over
think
here.
so. I think they have a lot of fun here.
I try to have fun everywhere I
Yeah,
go.
so
It works out
you only live
sometimes.
once.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to do the job, and he gets to have fun. If we don't, then we'll never get an interview done.
But we have our roles.
Right.
journalist jackass.
Yes.
It all works
That's
out
a
for
perfect.
me
That's a
real
band
well.
name right there.
Well, Jay's J and J.
wanted-
See, there's a name right there.
I wanted the jackass role, but
It was.
he was here, so I like you're natural.
All right, fine.
Oh man! So there you go. Hey, congratulations on all of it. On becoming a couple, on becoming a musical duo, on becoming just an intricate part of the musical scene. Because we have been saying the name. I'm happy to have a face to put with the name.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lanny
He's talking
and
to you
Julie.
right now.
Yeah. I'm talking to both of you, big boy.
I've seen your faces a lot. I follow social media. He doesn't.
Yeah.
No.
I log onto Facebook and I log right back off.
Yeah.
I don't know
Smart.
why. It scares me.
Yes.
Every time I get on the internet, it's talking bad about me. I don't know why the internet hates me, but it seems to hate me. So
That's okay. You're notorious.
It's a
you
cloud.
know?
Yeah.
No,
You
no
better
pun
be,
intended, right?
they'd be talking about you than not talking about you.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm very nervous
It's
on
okay.
what I'm going to say next, so I'm going to try and not say that.
Oh my God, what is he going to say next? Oh no,
I'm not going to say anything.
it'll be exciting.
I'm saying I'm excited to have Lanny and Julie finally here.
We really
We've
appreciate
been
you
waiting
guys.
a long time for this. Yeah, it seems like every weekend it's like, hey, we can get somebody we haven't had, and then we're like, there's something we need to cover. So
Yeah,
we go
it's-
right back to
Well,
Yeah.
and we do try to like when we hear a local band has put together an album, we try to do
Right,
it.
yeah.
Like Scott Marlin, your buddy, when he said, "Hey, can you get me in by this date because we got a gig in St. Genevieve?" Well, we do our best,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
gets really packed in.
Right.
Your name has been on a list for
yeah.
Hey, I don't know. He made me the list.
For however long.
We
the list
appreciate
was
you
there.
guys having us.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys having us. Thank
Awesome.
you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for
problem.
making the drive, and
Thank
thanks for
you.
coming down and letting me see your smiling faces.
Awesome.
Thanks.
It's brought a smile to my face.
Awesome, brother.
All
Nice
right.
meeting you
You
guys.
guys are awesome.
You guys can check these guys out every weekend. We're going to be telling you where they're playing, except for when they're on vacation. But
Yeah.
you might be in Florida and they show up at an open mic, so you just never know.
And thank you guys for doing for you do too. You guys are a big part of the
Yes,
of the
thank you
music
so
scene
much
as
for
well, so-
promoting live music. Like
Yeah.
we say that all the time. It's wonderful.
Well, now, and if people want to find out more about you, where on Facebook do they go? Just Lanny and Julie?
Lanny and Julie, and that's our website. Lanny and A&D Julie.
And our,
so.
and our YouTube page and pretty much everything that we do is under it's an ampersand
Yeah.
as opposed to and. But yeah,
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, I didn't
you
even
can't
know how to
avoid
look it
us.
up.
And
We're-
there's only one other Lanny and Julie, and they're from the Dominican Republic, and so you're not going to get too confused.
Well, that's cool. I didn't
don't
know that.
I don't know that.
I'm gonna
this
have to
is
check
true.
that out later.
Right.
Fake news.
switch places.
Fake news.
Fake news. I make
Fake,
up a lot of
fake,
No,
fake.
if you want to find out more about Lanny and Julie, just go to Facebook, check them out, and you can also check out this video. It'll be up on Facebook sometime tomorrow, and you can see how pretty they both are. See, I'm trying to keep you in this lane.
I
but really,
appreciate
I'm talking
you,
about you.
Pigpen. Yeah,
but
thank you
it's
so much. I
okay.
appreciate it. You're-
So, thanks so much for coming down and sharing your story with us a little bit. And hopefully, some people are going to be smart and get out and check out Lanny and Julie. They're out there every single weekend. I guarantee it. You have my unofficial
Man,
guarantee.
you're just
Yeah, I know.
you're going for it.
I'm pushing it hard here. I'm hoping I got new friends after
My new
today.
best friend here. My new best friend.
Friends for life, right?
All right. No comment. I mean, if he's not going to comment, that's just, I don't know what to say to that. He always comments.
You want to know what I want to say? I want to say one final thing.
I bet I know.
Go ahead. What is it?
Get out and support
No, that was
Halpin Music Company
That
and Mr.
was
Matt Van
Halpin.
Voorhis.
There you go.
See, all right.
You curved it
See how I
right
did
in
that?
there.
All right.
I just wanted to throw you off again.
So yeah, so
That's what I'm here
definitely
for.
Everybody has to get out and support Halpin Music. They've been supporting us 7 years plus years now. They've been
Yes.
promoting this show and sponsoring us, and also Mr. Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance so,
And Stubblefield.
and of the band Stubblefield. Matt Van Voorhis of Stubblefield and of Macias Insurance. Thanks to them, we get to come in here and jackass around every week.
Well, you get to, and I got to be a journalist.
Halpin and Alton here?
Halpin and all.
I
Halpin,
gotta check out Halpin.
I got to do stuff.
Halpin Music, and I get to come in and jackass around, and Dennis gets to make this huge list.
Yeah.
Is what he
Yeah.
gets to do.
Which keeps
So,
him off
that's-
social media. He just goes to cottonmouth.org and he knows everything that's going on.
I do. I go there at least once a day. So,
Looking out for you.
So there you go. Hey, thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to Lanny and Julie for
Thank you,
coming
guys.
Thank you for
down
having
here.
us.
Appreciate it
Thank
so
you so
much.
much, you guys.
And thanks so much to
It was so
all
much
of you
fun.
out there in the greater metropolitan area that is listening to this show.
Yeah.
Please, I ask you to all go see Lanny and Julie, and if you can't see them, get out and support local music and art. All right.